If you can't push yourself when nobody's watching, you'll never make it on your own. Over my 4 years in the gym, I've learned a lot. One of those things that I've learned is that there's something about training alone. Now, before I get into this, I do train with people sometimes. I'm not always alone. But when I do train alone, there's a different focus that I get. That's exactly what you need to lean into when you're in the gym. I trained alone for a long time and honestly kind of took it for granted. I always sat there and was like, I wish I had a partner, wish I had somebody to push me. And then when I did get a partner, I realized training alone wasn't that bad. When you're here alone, there's nobody else. It's just you. You're alone with your thoughts. You're alone with your feelings. All you can do is just be. And I think there's something special about that. Also, when you're alone, you don't have anybody to push you. So this is the time that your motivation, your discipline, and should I say your devotion, not your discipline, because I like devotion better. Being alone shows really how devoted you are. And that comes with anything, not just the gym, but anything. In my life, pursuing a dream like YouTube is hard because a lot of people don't understand it. They don't get it. A lot of people look at me like, what are you doing with your life? You should be putting your time into school, or you should go learn a trade, or you should do this because this isn't the safe route. And these people tell me, what happens if it fails? And I say, well, what happens if it doesn't? Or what happens if I never tried and this was my true calling? And I go through the rest of my life working a job I don't like and wondering, what if? What if I pursued that? What if I put my all into it? And that's really what being alone is about. When there's nobody in your corner pushing you, there's nobody telling you that you got this. That's when you really, truly learn something in life. You learn how to be a man. You learn how to say, I don't care what people think. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna prove this to not only them, but most importantly, myself. So this is more than just the gym. I'm not just talking about pushing yourself while you're in here alone and being able to pump out the most reps and work as hard as you can while you're alone. This ties into everything in life. There's a good Tom Platz quote. He's in the gym, I can't remember, it's some audio, but he's like, if you can do this, you can do anything.
The same thing in life is the same thing here. If you can do this, you can do anything. Anything.
And he's right. If you can do this, you can push through anything in life because this is hard. It's hard to get in the gym. You know how many people don't work out in the world? There's a lot of people that don't work out. And I'm happy that it's finally becoming more of a trend, if you want to call it, to work out, because now there's a lot more people doing it. And being healthy is being pushed more. And I'm leaning into that as well with my channel and with telling you guys about taking care of yourself and being healthy. Not only being healthy physically, but mentally. Putting the right things into your head, putting the right things into your body, worrying about what you're ingesting every day through your mind. That means get in your Bible, connect with God, cut out the negative things in life that you don't need, things that aren't leading you towards your purpose. I'm a big supporter of being alone. Not forever. I believe that as humans, we're not meant to be alone, but I think that everybody should go through a season of being alone. Unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I got forced into the season of being alone. I didn't really want it, but a relationship that I was in ended and I was forced to be alone, and I hated it. I hated it at first. I couldn't stand it. And you know what? Sometimes it's still hard. But being alone teaches you so many things. Because when you learn to be alone and you're content with that, that is when whoever you're supposed to be with in life can come along and can just be a bonus. If you can't be alone, if you can't be your own person, then you should not be in a relationship with somebody. And that may hurt a lot of people because there's a lot of people out there. I was one of those people that are dependent on their partner. You need to be okay with being alone. I know how hard it is. God uses these quiet moments, the alone time, to really speak to you, to teach you things you've never learned before. And in reality, you're never truly alone. God is always with you. Use this season of being alone and build your relationship with God. And I assure you, I can bet you money that it will change your life for the better. You can be lonely or you can be alone. It's your choice. In the end, I can know that I pushed through when it was hard. When I was alone, I didn't let the enemy win, and I didn't let the doubts from other people win. Do I have everybody supporting me on my dreams? No. But how much sweeter would it be if in the end it all works out? What if it all works out? Sometimes I'll just be scrolling and I'll just come across a post that says, what if it all works out? And it's just a reminder of, what do you got to lose? If you already feel like you're at rock bottom, why not? Why not go for your dreams? Why not push forward? Because you don't got anything to lose at that point. There's nothing to risk. Embrace the season that you're in right now. I'm doing it. It hasn't been pleasant, but I have grown to be way stronger than I was before. And that's enough to convince me that this season was worth it. Like I said before, you can be lonely or you can be alone. The choice is yours. See you in the next video.